Greetings, Padawans, and welcome to the archive. Greetings, Padawans, and welcome to the archives. Here to unlock this holocron, here's the man of the hour, Jedi Master AlsoTeeko.
That's right. Let me get a hurrah hurrah, because I am live. We are out here. We are having a good time. Just got to put the word out that I'm live. Let people know. Hey, this is Big Daddy AlsoTeeko, and we are live. Oh, I didn't say it.
Yeah, that told me you were streaming.
I feel like we covered that.
You said you were recording.
I am recording. It is a recording.
That's not that's not the same as a live stream.
No, it's fine. It's all good. No one watches this anyways. We're chilling. We're chilling. But yeah, fucking Revan, my goat. I'm reading his book right now. I can't help but think he's a fraud. And it's not even his fault. You know?
Oh, I was so confused where that was coming from.
Yeah, I'm watching on Twitter.
It was Suarez.
Is that one lady still racing? That dumb broad?
Dumb Danica Patrick or whatever it is. She hasn't been racing in a long time, I
I
think.
saw TikToks and people were just dogging on her.
She wasn't good, so fair enough.
Drivers and Danica, start your engines. What's good, Monday?
Starts up like race in reverse.
I kind of want to do this.
Ooh, I'm a bad guy, so I met her.
I kind of want to do this this episode a little different. I think should we game whilst doing this?
She deserves a worse.
Oh,
Kill all
but
those Revanites.
do you try and seek the approval of your lady?
She'll
have
get
to.
enough presents.
Give her enough
Just
presents.
give her 200 presents.
Yeah.
Buy the love of your slave. That's crazy.
Very well.
That's how we get it.
So what are you 3D printing first, Keg? What are you 3D printing first?
Daddy Nihilus.
Another thing of XP?
Are you gonna have to?
Yes.
You're gonna have to paint it, yeah.
Yeah.
Sand it,
I've
paint
heard.
it.
Yeah. I've already got all that stuff from the Ronin lightsaber I did.
It was a pretty good story arc. Those are Revan fools.
If I sent you a if I sent you a concept drawing, and if I paid a commission fee and shipping fee, could I solicit a mask from you? I'm not sure how the hell you'd have to like CAD draw that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll figure that part out. I'll do that part because I have a background in that part. Autodesk Innovator, I'm him on that.
Amen. No disrespect to me on the Autodesk. I've spent my time.
I want to
Except on
design a saber on Autodesk. Have you done that?
No.
I think when I was in 8th grade, Gateway to Technology class, we got to design an item, And then
Is that when computers were the size of rooms?
no,
Got him.
that was when they were probably running on a GTX 1060 or something. That was the cracked graphics card. Windows 7, Windows 8, one of those two. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But I designed we had to design a vehicle of our choice, and I went above and beyond and designed the Slave One. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, man.
Got it 3D printed. No clue where it is.
But it's Boba Fett Starfighter.
Firespite 243.
In my CAD class, I got all that 2K14 downloaded. And we were trying to play that.
Probably desperately, eh? Try being in school during Windows 95. Couldn't imagine. Couldn't imagine. That sounds
All
terrible.
we did in that class was play Hurdle. That's all we did, and play Sporkle quizzes.
Yeah.
And get yelled at every day. But we're like, hey, teach. We're ahead of the whole class.
Hey, teach. Hey, idiot.
Respect the ball knowledge.
Mandalorian helmet 3D print file.
Just the thing that sucks now is I have to learn all the settings and what to do when.
Yeah. I get
So
that.
I don't even know if this mask is gonna turn out good right now. It looks alright.
Oh man. You know what I saw on sale right now was, I think it was the Boba Fett. Let's try and pull it up. I think it was the Boba Fett concept Black Series,
Yeah.
where he's all white.
Ooh.
Let me share my screen.
My,
Here it is.
my
Bro,
Darth
tell me this
Nihilus-
isn't sick as heck.
Is that just a hell? Oh, look at that.
Tell me that's not fire.
That is sick.
That is so sick. I don't know if that's a normal, like, steep price though, because I've never bought a helmet.
Does it have anything in that site? Like, scroll down. I think I said something about LEDs. Does it have a?
Magic in the details. 2 red LED flash in hunting pattern plus a white LED illuminated heads-up display. Requires 1 AAA battery. Oh, it shows the stuff it's made out of too, if that helps
Maybe it
you.
Yeah,
Interior padding, adjustable fit, press button on side to activate. Yeah, illuminated rangefinder. Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man.
free shipping. Pretty cool.
What is that other statue I ordered coming out? So I've already got the Basta one. I got the Revan one. The Nihilus one is coming out in a month.
There's.
I'm supposed to...
Wait, is this the one? Yeah. So there were 10 helmets made for Empire,
Yep.
and one of them is on sale right now. It's on bid, I want to say.
Time to call the bank. Best offer. Best I can do is 20. And a Snickers.
That might be the Mandalorian way. But it's not.
Collectibles. Star Wars collectibles. My buddy was at Goodwill and he found one of those like Disney Ray replica sabers, like the $200 ones.
Yeah.
Got it for $15.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's also a Yoda one. So for $30, he walked out with about $300 worth of lightsaber, basically. And it was the Ray, like Graflex lightsaber as well. So, pretty sick. Pretty sick.
7% complete.
Where we at? This is the only replica saber I have. I'm seriously considering getting the Luke one, but at the same time I just don't need it, just for a background prop. But I like the one that I have. I'll go grab it. I should have an Allen wrench somewhere here. Yeah, I love this lightsaber, man. I wanna get a grip for it, a nice like leather grip. Do some weathering on it. I think that would be really sick. That'd be really cool. If you're listening on audio, I did a mystery box on Crimson Dawn sabers. I think one of the this saber's sick because you can take it apart, completely apart. So I just wanted to focus on the grip I could, the pommel I could.
You owe me one, and not for saving your skin for the 10th time.
Almost cut my arm off. I do want to try and see where this loose nut is. Good God. Keep working on it here. Slowly but surely. No shot, this is it. No shot. This might be something. This is a long ass piece. One more. One more.
Commander Rex, you're in violation of Order 66. I accuse you of treason against the Republic. You will be dealt with, and we will deploy the garrison.
What the heck? What?
Garrison bonus activated.
Hydrate, give me a second, bro. I got you. There's one of them. There's still a nut in there. I got you. I have plenty of drinks to my right. It's hard work with these things, man. Probably should have taken the battery off first, but it's something that's housing in this chamber. Oh, it just fell. What the heck? It fell and it hit me in the foot. Weird. Anywho, we've got her disassembled now. Completely. Pretty nice. Yeah, it's just a really nice piece of machinery, man. Pommel. Chamber. Emitter. Rather big. I think we're gonna keep it undone. If I do want to go in and customize it, I can. But you know, in the meantime, it's perfectly fine to be kept apart as long as I Don't lose the screws. Don't want to lose the screws. That would suck. So we're gonna try and keep the screws, but really cool. I probably won't get another. Just because this is more than fine. And I'm not that materialistic. I don't like having so many things. You know what I mean? I don't like
Need
having
all the things, man.
I don't like having so many things. Very happy with my life. What I got. What I'm building to, what I'm saving for. Plus, the more things I have, the more things I'll have to move when I move to Scotland. So it's just
Scotland.
mhm.
Why would you do such a thing?
There's a girl there that loves me a whole lot.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I love her a whole lot, so gonna make the jump.
You see my camera?
Yeah, put it on. I'll try and show the people.
No, damn.
Try and show the
It
people.
made a very scary sound. I don't know.
Keg's got a 3D printer cam. I think
it broke.
it broke.
One of the branches broke. It's going way too fast.
You should try and
Unreal.
you should try and start like a TikTok account. The drones would love watching that kind of content.
Way too fast. Okay.
Man. So we do have a show run. We do have an outline, but really, folks, I am ill. I'm having a good time with my boys. I'll try and get to some of this stuff, and some of the stuff that we're talking about is Bad Batch, the future of Star Wars content, and a couple theories and fan fictions that I want to dive into. Beyond that, though, we're kind of just vibing. Had a really wild cold open. And we're having a good time. So kick back, relax. We'll get our hydrate on.
Before it broke, it was printing really nicely.
Shout out to y'all being here. How we doing? Hopefully we're all doing well. On God's green earth. We're gonna be working on chapter 2 of the book ski tonight. Excited for that. Put some finishing touches on chapter 1. And recording a couple fun videos this week. Tuesday night, Bad Batch episode 4 comes out. I probably won't stay up to watch it because it's like 27 minutes is what it is. Not going to need an immediate reaction, but I'm excited for it. You know, the first 3 episodes were tight. They're really cool. Went into it lowballing on expectation, which I think you should. You should have little to no expectations going into something, especially made by Disney, made by Lucasfilm. What are we cooking, Keg? That software looks pretty tight.
Can I see what I can do to make it not break halfway through? It broke right around, like right there. That was.
What if you
That's
built
how
it
much it was through the print.
top to bottom so it has a wider base?
I don't.
Maybe it's a structural thing?
We ain't got enough integrity.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could rotate it and then put it on its ass like this.
Oh, Datacron?
Yeah.
That might be better.
Datacron!
Or
Let's
its
see what it
face.
cooks up. Let's see what it cooks up here.
Yeah.
I can't jump that high.
Yeah, Bad Batch was cool. I really enjoyed it. I felt like there's 3 really good episodes. And
Oh, I see.
it's got me enjoying the little things.
Ooh, that might be better. That might be a whole lot better. It's gonna suck to print. It's gonna be 7 hours.
Compared to what?
Half of that. The other one.
Quality's
But this
quality,
makes a whole
though.
lot more.
Flip
Yeah.
it on its other end and see how long it'll take. So face down.
Okay, I don't even know what axiom I'm on right now.
I'd bet that would take maybe less than half.
Yeah, because you're not.
Filling it in.
Yeah. You're concave instead of.
What do you know about
Yeah.
Nihilus? Do you know much?
I know.
Yeah, look,
I think
Less,
that there's
literally
all
less
to
than
know.
half.
Not less than half, but a whole lot less support. Yeah.
3 hours, 10 minutes?
That says 5 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, it's because it's the support structure.
yeah.
The other one I tried tree, which sometimes will work for you, sometimes not. But I think we'll have to go normal support. Just see if I can make it print a little slower. Just so it isn't. Okay, it failed. Cool.
Yeah, it failed again. I would just run it like that. How much was the plastic? The spool of plastic?
I think it was maybe 15 for a spool.
That's not bad. How many yards?
I wish it told me yards.
Oh, it
I don't know. It's in. I don't. Is it? It doesn't tell me like the length, it tells me the weight.
That's probably a better way to sell it anyways.
Yeah,
You
because
print
it's
me the Dune bucket.
because
Dune
it's
popcorn bucket.
it's- hey. Well,
It's for science.
I'm gonna have to get some special rubber.
How we
filament.
doing, Derpy? How we doing? Welcome to the pod. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, toss it in the chat. We'll get to you as soon as you place it.
Question, does it clap? I will be waiting for my thesis.
Okay.
Oh. Huh?
Yeah, that's just overall a general better idea.
Yeah, give it a go.
Print it like that.
See what happens.
That's Dante using mine. I'm gonna die.
It's just hopefully
Heal me, bitch.
the supports are easy to get off because that's the part you're going to be looking at. Which, of course, I can sand that down to oblivion if I have to.
Yeah. Known sand specialist, the Kegmeister. It's crazy. I got my two all-time top two haters in this call. Same time. It's incredible.
I'm also a supporter
Yeah.
of the Twitch pod.
I'm just a hater.
There's some sick helmets here, man. There's some really sick helmets. And then there's some goofy eye ones too.
Gotta print that, that one goofball.
You gotta make your own Thrawn helmet.
Either a Thrawn helmet or.
Let's go. Level 25.
Oh, my concept art. I have him just wearing like the like it's cut above the head dome. So it's just like the face part.
Set this camera up better.
This dude on Etsy selling the Mandos for $70 basically.
Oh, camera unavailable. Just not plugged in.
Literally camera unavailable, dude. Boom, boom, bum, bum, bum.
This $5 webcam I got doesn't work half the time.
Hell yeah.
That's how you know they're good.
Fuck. That
Holy
looks
shit, that'd be a cool
terrible.
cam.
What's that?
Shit. I've got it on like a movable lamp that's clamped to my desk, and it's just, it can't support the weight of the camera.
Let's see if there are some lightsaber 3D printing files. Keg's gonna 3D print a Glock. There's some alright ones. Some alright ones. That's mine. Nothing consequential.
Gosh. There we go. Better cam. Shaky cam. One layer at a time.
Jesus Christ.
Like, they weren't that bad. It's overall pretty smooth.
A freshman at USC. 30 points on
When
10 of
triple
30 from the field.
Oh, this one. That
Yeah.
game.
But I booted up X on accident because I was trying to look up some Star Wars stuff. That was the first thing there. Bespin Bulletin. That's not really news. The Acolyte releasing June 5th. We will be there.
Like, I'm looking through the listing for the spool, and I just cannot find a length. Like, not even...
What's it called?
We got... just do PLA filament 1.75 millimeters and 2 kilograms. 2. Yeah, that should be what it is. Yeah, how long is it? Go to those drop downs. Okay.
300 yards. That's 1
That's not-
kilogram. So 600 yards.
Yeah. 3D printers do everything in metric.
Yeah. 660
Stupid thing.
meters. It's probably closer to over 700 yards.
Yeah, so... Because I think it
Get
tells
running.
me... Yeah, it tells me how... Yeah, so this print should take 45 meters of filament.
It's 175 meters per half kilogram. So 600 meters. Give or take. It depends on the company. But I think selling it by weight is definitely the smarter thing to do.
Yeah.
We got the new, it's not new,
Dark
but
Forces remastered, baby.
Dark Forces Remastered coming out. The Battlefront Classic is coming out. Not remastered, but retextured. I think everything is upscaled to 4K.
Oh, it's making scary sounds. Oh, yeah. Alright.
I think that's all in terms of news. Slow news week because everything right now is kind of production based.
Fuck there. Don't get it.
Still not see your video on the Phantom Menace. it's a pretty, like, it's a different video, Raphael. It's a different video. Production value isn't great because I have a tripod that I set up whenever I'm FaceTiming my girlfriend, and I collapsed it, and I was just holding it as a selfie stick, and I went for a walk and just talked about the Phantom Menace and why the title is why it's cool. I spoke about the importance of it, in-universe importance, and it doesn't sound great because the microphone used wasn't good. It was just holding my iPhone out. But I am going to look into external microphones because when summer rolls around, I want to be playing a lot of football, a lot of basketball, recording stuff for my second channel. And when my missus and I see each other again, we want to record some content as well. So it'll be nice to have that for it. I mean, you guys can hear my voice sounds super froggy, not feeling the best. But I didn't want to push this off anymore because we were going to do it Friday night, but I was so dunzo after work, and then I was going to do it yesterday. But I had plans, didn't end up happening, but the plans kind of took priority, took precedent. And then today I wanted to do it. I had plans as well that didn't end up happening. And I wanted to make sure I got this podcast done. I was chilling for maybe 10 minutes and I was like, okay, if I can get through the pod, we'll be chilling. Streamed last night for 3.5 hours, and that was pretty brutal. That was pretty tough, but we're out here. We're having a good time. Let me know how you guys feel about anything that you've watched Star Wars recently, whether it's an episodic movie, whether it's The Bad Batch, whether you're playing games. How you guys feeling? What are you up to? Question of the day. What's your favorite appearance of a singular character? Who's got your favorite appearance? I've been vibing with the bald Siths, you know, because me, my boy JT, Kag, MJ, we started playing the Old Republic again recently, and I made my Sith a big bald dude, big imposing guy, like the likes of Malik and Malgus. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Nihilus, I think, has just such a crazy look to him. Before I even knew who he was, I knew about him just because of his appearance, and I was like, hold up, that's a scary dude from the old video game cover. Never played it. I look forward to playing it. It's just really tough for me to sit down and sesh games out right now when I have a very strict schedule at the moment. And having a good time though. Having a good time. I have to say, like, I'm balancing everything very nicely, doing my best as much as I can. We're in the gym as much as I can. I have these lifting goals that I'm trying to get to, trying to get my bench to a certain degree, trying to get my deadlifts and my squats to a certain point. all while I'm building a lot of muscle at the moment. I'm trying to maintain my mobility, and with that I'm doing like some speed and agility exercises, and couple that with the book that we're working on, my awesome relationship, hanging out with my family, work, streaming, content creation. Like, I'm staying busy. So I appreciate you guys for being patient and enjoying this ride with me at the same time. My opinion on Phantom Menace, I think it's maybe the most... Episode 4 set the stage for everything, right? 5 and 6 came after it, but episode 1 probably had the most writing on it. And Star Wars is where it's at today because the Phantom Menace, in my eyes, succeeded, as it created a really whole new galaxy. It set the stage of where we're at in a certain time period, what's going on in a certain time period. And I think it was massively important for the overall development of Star Wars, because if episode 1 failed, episode 2 and 3 might have failed as well. But in my eyes, in my estimations, in my opinion, I want to say that episode 1 nailed it out of the park. The only people that really didn't like it were the critics. And the critics don't really know what they're talking about when we're talking about big IPs like this. They don't. And a lot of people don't know what they're talking about with big IPs like this. It's like debating sports with someone that doesn't quite understand the difference between an and one and a technical foul. God bless it. I think the Star Wars fandom is great. I think it's nice to have such, diversity in who likes what characters, who likes what movies. You don't want everyone to think the same, because thinking the same as somebody, borrowing opinions, stealing opinions, liking things because other people like things, you're just a clown. You're just a clown. You're allowed to have your own opinions, and it's weird that in today's day and age, opinions are just stolen to try and fit in. It's weird. You'll have to forgive me. I'm very ill at the moment. Oh, it's Coco's birthday. Shout out to my boy Cohen, man. My boy Cohen is really good guy. Really good guy. Old coworker. I think his last day was yesterday. And he's dating my really good friend Ari, and it's just so cool to see them so happy, doing so well. They're doing really well, and they're friends of my missus too, which is cool. I like people. I enjoy people. And one thing I did want to talk about, since we were kind of on the discussion of the Phantom Menace, there's been some talk, there's been some theories of Padme, of Anakin, and they keep calling it like Annie Dalla, which I've always found those things quite cringe in the first place. Annie Dalla, when literally Panakin would make a much more sense. But people have the most outlandish takes and opinions on Padme, and I was watching Robot Chicken last night when jotting down ideas for my book and stuff, and the one came up where Padme is just super out there. Yo, MJ.
What up, dog?
So, Robot Chicken, you know the one where Padme's acting just all seductive around Anakin?
I think so.
Tell me that's not like how she was in the movie as well. Like,
Yeah, kind of.
I think she was definitely trying to make a move on young Annie.
Yeah.
But since you're here, bro, let's talk some Bad Batch. How'd you enjoy it?
That was good. That was good.
Did
I
it?
really liked on how it proved my point on like Dr. Hemlock being the originator, so to speak, of the sequels.
Yeah, he's a menace.
Fact.
He's a menace.
That man, science is dangerous.
Oh, science has always been dangerous, bro. You think back to World War II.
Yeah.
A lot of what the Empire does on Mount Tantus, a lot of what Operation Necromancer is based off of what the Nazis were doing in South America. They were trying to clone, they used to do tests with like twins and stuff to see if they could hurt one twin to see if the other twin would feel it physically. And they even did stuff like creating abominations, and they would try and gene splice, they would try and like inject the South American, they were tortured slaves, and they would try and inject them with chemicals and like color into their eye to try and change their eye color and stuff. And
Right.
a lot of that is discussed and shown in Star Wars. It's crazy, but it just goes to show like how there are real world examples of this stuff happening, and we may not even know it because a lot of people
Right.
don't look into history anymore. It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
And Star Wars has always been a reflection of history. So when I saw that stuff happening, I was like, holy shit, like this is what they were doing in Argentina in the late 40s and the early 50s. This is nuts.
Yeah, dude.
I want to see what happens though. As much as I love this, I want to see the beginnings of the First Order. I want to see that. And I think we're going to get that with Thrawn.
Yes. Yeah. You finished my thought out loud. Yeah. We're not going to get it now. Right now is the origins of, later Pout. But I think during the
What a
Heirs of the
pie.
Empire, we'll definitely get First Order. I mean, because we already got, what's his name? Rat Hux is dad in Mando S3.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We got Hux. We got because the Imperial Remnant, the First Order were just Imperial Remnant, right? So why do people have such an issue with all this leading to the sequels? If anything, it just strengthens things, it answers questions. We know the sequels were butt cheeks.
You have to look at it broadly, or no, wrong B word, bluntly. The sequels separated the F out of the Star Wars fan base. Not like the prequels didn't separate the fan base.
Correct.
In the sense of like the sequels, the sequels was like an earthquake heard around the world. If I was gonna put it into a metaphor, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because the prequels weren't
came
taking
out.
characters like
It's also
Obi-Wan.
really not taken seriously
Yeah.
by some of the fan base.
Yeah, and the sequels went out and caused harm to characters that people identified with. Like, they changed characters. And it sucks because you have to then stop asking how could this have happened, and you have to start asking why did this happen. And that's where it starts to get a little bit tricky with things, It starts to get a little bit tricky because, like Luke, for example, you can't ask how could he have tried to kill Ben. He did it, so why did he do it? It sucks, It's kind of like when when someone lies, they then have to keep lying on top of it and keep trying to cover it. And unless you are as foolish as they come, like, you can tell when someone's lying to you. And that's what the sequels feel like. It feels like they just keep going and just keep going and keep piling onto it, which sucks because there's really good characters in there. There's really good characters, but there's just so much, like, one bad apple can't ruin the pie, but 7 bad apples can. And that's kind of what we got with I'm not even gonna say the sequels, episode 8 and 9.
Yeah,
and I'm not even gonna say 9. 9 did its best. 9 did its best. 9 was like, hey, the wedding is on Friday. We tried to get a new baker in to make the cake. He used up all the ingredients. We have to salvage it. That's what 9 is like. I'm not blaming 9. Because there's goofy ass shit in 9. Like the dagger. We can agree the dagger's goofy. Dagger didn't need to be a thing. Palpatine probably didn't need to be a thing, but I didn't mind it. I didn't think it took away from anything, because I previously read like the Dark Empire, and you knew Palpatine the whole time that he was in power was trying to preserve it, because Plagueis was trying to do the same thing. So I'm not mad that Palpatine came back in the slightest. I don't like the end. I like the ending. I just don't understand why they had to kill off Ben. Like, that never made sense to me. I know it's because at a certain point they just made him Darth Vader 2.0, so they had to sacrifice him because it mirrored Darth Vader's sacrifice. But I just didn't understand why they went ahead and killed him, because Adam Driver has said that he's done with Star Wars now. So you lost your most compelling character that had the most potential, the most hype, and it's kind of, for lack of a better term, beyond that, it's kind of chalked, you know?
Yeah.
Because they don't really have anything to build on. That's why this Rey movie is, it's either going to flop or it's going to be amazing. I don't think it can be mid, because we're going to go into it with flop expectations, right? And if it's anything that's tangible, I think we're going to look at it as good. But I really just hope that it's great. I really hope it's great, because I think there needs to be a calm in the storm that is the attitude towards Lucasfilm from the fandom. And I think that begins and ends with Rey, because of just how divided and divisive her character has been for people. And truly, I don't think it even roots back to, oh, she's a girl, so she sucks. I don't think it roots to that at all. Because
people didn't like her in a different manner, not because like of that. They didn't like her acting, and that she was a Mary Sue. From my point of view.
Yeah. I liked the acting. I think Daisy Ridley, I've seen a few things of her, right? Rey is her best performance by a mile. And when you think that she was 20 years old when she was Rey for the first time, like, super impressive stuff. And when she's Rey, I think she embodies Rey, who Rey is. And I like Rey as the character a whole lot. But they just don't do her justice in the writing, because you don't see all the time and energy and focus that she's putting into her own teachings and her own training, you know? And all of her character progression happens off screen. Where with Luke, we see him training. We see him go through the trenches, go through the struggle. And with Anakin, we see him as an apprentice getting his arm cut off. We see him, granted, he had the Clone Wars, you know? Anakin had the Clone Wars, but we also were introduced to him when he was a kid, joining the Jedi as the chosen one, whereas with Rey, her Force power accumulates so rapidly because of in-galaxy explanation that the average fan wouldn't understand. Like, because the dark side was so strong and so prevalent, it kind of put her on steroids with how she grew and how she quickly adapted to things. And that's why I think Rey is kind of the martyr more than anything, because going into The Last Jedi, there were two storylines that were incredibly prevalent. Do you remember what they were?
Nah.
It was, what the hell is Snoke, and who the hell are Rey's parents?
That's true.
Coming out of The Last Jedi, we didn't get answers to those. We got those questions taken away.
We got more questions.
Yeah. So that's why I think episode 8 did more damage than good, not just for Rey, but the whole system, because 7 episodes of Star Wars prior to that, and it decided that none of it mattered. None of the source material mattered.
I mean, it's because you took an old establishment and tried to replace it with modernized takes, I guess would be the wording for it. It was a script that was cut in half and replaced, and then replaced.
Mm-hmm.
So it never had a to Z moment. It literally went from like A to numbers,
Yeah.
and then back to the alphabet.
Yeah, that's why I don't care. Man, woman, child, adult, it doesn't matter. Whatever character we get, it just needs to be a compelling story and a good character. Let's not make it about sex. Let's not make it about race, because I feel like that's a cop-out. I thought Reva was a terrible character, but I thought Rey was a great character. Yeah, I felt like Reva was terrible. I thought Reva sucked, man. There's nothing redeemable about that Kenobi show, genuinely. You started off with a director who put out maybe the worst episode of The Mandalorian, season 2. You do a writer who had never seen a Star Wars movie before, and you're doing it for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which should be Obi-Wan versus Vader, right? But instead, it's kind of a Obi-Wan versus Vader versus Reva show, where you don't need to murky the waters anymore, because you know what the fans, not just what the fans wanted, but you know what the story needed. You know what the story had to be. And I felt like the acting for Reva was poor. I feel like the writing for Reva was poor. I feel like the overall character of Reva was poor. I don't want to see a youngling who gets stabbed by Anakin come back, be an inquisitor.
They should have been dead, in my opinion. Like, the 2 stabbings is what kind of pissed me off.
Yeah. And then she just walks off into the Dune Sea like nothing happened.
Nah, what are you talking about? I never met that person in my life. They never existed. It's like, oh, you mean before the Kenobi show? No, this is after. What's the difference?
I think people get too caught up too with Rey Skywalker, because she was adopted into the family by her 2 Jedi Masters. You know, she was gonna marry Ben anyways.
I'm on the Sith Rey train. She should have been the villain. It was so hot. I mean, dope.
See, I get that. Like, I totally get it. There was just no
female in power with a lightsaber, not the Cyril Figgis girl he's chasing.
Yeah.
That's her name.
What is her name? What is her name? I'll look it up and I'll be like, I knew that. Let's see. ISB Lady Andor. Deidre Miro. See, I knew that. What is she? Special Agent Miro? Lieutenant Supervisor Miro. That's the one. You excited for Andor?
Yes and no. I mean, my yes is outweighed by the no. I just want to know what happened to my boy Kino.
Yeah.
Did he, because he can't swim.
Can't swim.
Andor season 2, I want to see more of Luthen's ship. Like, yeah. I don't know where they're gonna go with this. Maybe, was Crimson Dawn around? It was, I think, right? Like, I want more lightsabers. Like, the only light, I mean, people don't
I
want
don't
lightsabers,
think so. For season 2, I don't think so. For season 1, it would have been. By this point, Maul's dead in season 2. Because I think season 2 is a year before Rogue One, which is a day before episode 4. I see. I'm going to go into Andor with bleak expectations too, because it has the world of expectations behind it, right? For the longest time after it got released, even while it got released, Andor was boring. People didn't like it. After it got released, they still didn't like it. They didn't rewatch it, nothing. It took a few YouTubers to like deep dive it and show why it was great. Show the special nuances and the niche things that made it special. And then people started to like it. I liked it the whole time because I don't have the attention span of a 2-year-old. But it has the expectations and the weight of the world on its shoulders. If Andor 2 fails, the system fails. That's kind of where we're at right now. Especially considering how many new things are coming out before that. Acolyte comes out June 5th.
That's gonna be dope.
I hope so. I hate being so pessimistic. I'm not being pessimistic because I always look forward to these things. You know that. Everyone knows that. But if it fails, if it's bad, if no one likes it, it's going to leave a sour taste in people's mouths for some time to come, because I don't know who's really going to be watching Skeleton Crew like that. I won't be. But because I've never even seen The Goonies, and people keep saying it's going to be like The Goonies. I've never seen The Goonies.
Like the Goonies, yeah. The Goonies is a classic, bro. The Truffle Shuffle.
I've never gotten behind classics like that.
I mean, at this point, you have to be committed to watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't see it with the kid as a kid, you definitely missed out.
That's fair. That's fair. I know a lot of people that like The Goonies. I never watched it as a kid, and like I've never even seen like Shawshank Redemption or Schindler's List. Never seen those. I never saw
Schindler's List, but Shawshank, that's a war crime you gotta go see. Schindler's List, we both have to see, honestly. Yeah. But Schindler's List is a really good one with our boy Liam, honestly.
Just didn't watch too many films growing up. Like I didn't have too much television time allotted. Mm-hmm. And if I did, like I was watching SportsCenter, I was watching sports, like
Right, right. Yeah, I was more of the opposite, man. I mean, I did play soccer slash football growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Both the same sport, of course. But like as I got older, my passion was more into like video games and such.
Mm-hmm.
Not really into sports. The only sport I really like is just hockey, and it's still amazes me to this day on how it's still legal fighting. No charge of assault, nothing. Just let them duke it out, and that's what I love.
That's
man.
how it should be, you know?
Facts, bro. And when the ref see it's all right, it's getting too huddle, tussle, you know.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
like,
break
all
it
right,
up.
you're done. And then and like the audience and like the fans are like, yeah, he won or they won. It's like we won.
Yeah, hockey is one of those sports that I think society can take a piece of, what's it called? It could take some advice from, because like I've seen so many things, I know so many people that could really use a reality check, and you just can't in today's day and age. Like, you can't even tell someone like, hey, you're a dickhead, like you're a complete rat,
Yeah, I get your point.
looks like a rat, acts like a rat, smells like a rat, it's probably a rat. In hockey, you can't, because the goon on the other team will come check you, put you into the boards, put you on the ice.
I would be more afraid of someone chasing me on ice in the hockey rink than a grown man on a football field. Like, it's just, I don't know why, but being checked on ice is so much more scarier than being checked on the field. I mean, they're both padded.
Yeah, they pad everything that could get hurt, you know.
Mhm.
That's why I used to like the show Bully Beatdown, because it was just people getting checked by people that would check them, you know. Like, people just talk way too much shit and they don't back it up, and it's just weird. It's just weird. The goofiest dudes, man. It's always the goofiest dudes. It's always
Talk
the
shit.
goofiest dudes. That's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. And like, it's not even about getting hit either. It's not even about violence. It's just about like sitting down, having a conversation. Like, hey, you're saying all this stuff. You don't even know me. You've never even had a conversation with me. And it's just weird. It's just weird. When I was doing NBA videos and stuff, plenty of instances of that. People didn't like me just because I got decent views on videos and stuff. And it's kind of like the Arnold situation, where Arnold's probably a great guy, but people don't like him for one reason or another. And in my personal life, like, I get along with everybody that I've ever met. I get along with. But there are just some people that have never met me that, frankly, I don't want to ever have a conversation with, just because they are weird people. They're weird. They dedicate so much time and energy towards just hating. And it's like, you should probably find a hobby. You should probably find a hobby. It's just, you feel for them, you know, if that's what gets them out of bed. That's what gets them out of bed. But hockey is that sport where you can't walk around acting like your shit don't stink. And if you say the wrong word to the wrong player, you're gonna end up smelling the roses. So I love hockey, man. And it's just such a nice artistic sport too. It took me a few times seeing it in person to really appreciate it, you know? Seeing those extra passes, seeing the quick reactions, just flicking the puck into the net, man. I go to my local hockey club's games as much as I can, because they're WHL. So it's like 18 to 21-year-olds that aren't trying to go to college but still want to like play high-level hockey. And dude, they get after it. They really get after it, and it's fun. Who's your hockey team, MJ? Oh, he might be muted. As he's muted, I do want to talk with you guys about the future of Star Wars, because we have some circumstances to talk about, and one of which we'll start off with is the animated shows. As of right now, we are watching The Bad Batch. It is the last season of The Bad Batch. I sound like a frog. I apologize, folks. I sound like a frog. We are watching The Bad Batch. It is great. Seasons 1 and 2. A lot of filler, but really good story. Season 3. 3 straight really good episodes. And I'm having a really good time with them. But what's to come after Bad Batch? Because the animated shows are then done. They're then over with. And
we move on to the new one now.
yeah,
Like, we got Acolyte next, dude. And I think it's going to twist a lot of heads in the regard of, I mean, how can you possibly forget? You remember all the great fight scenes from the prequels and how goated they were, right? I mean, some
Very
actually, that's from my point of view. Some actually hate the prequel fights. They think it's just a joke. But in my opinion, it's really good choreography and such. But the High Republic, which is where the Acolyte is set, it's peak Jedi. So we're gonna see astounding feats, dude, with choreography, in my opinion. I don't know if you caught the glimpse of the leaked trailer of the Acolyte.
no, haven't watched anything. Because you know me, I like to just be surprised. I like to see what I get into when I get into it. And the Acolyte, I'm really looking forward to. I'll be honest, I'm really looking forward to it. Reason being, it's live action. That is what I think is gonna change the game. Because what was our last live action show that we walked out from? That finished up? It was Ahsoka, right?
Ahsoka, yeah. I thought it was Kenobi.
Solid show. Really good show. People think it ended weekly, but
It did. It ended unexpectedly.
Yeah. I thought the ending was fine, given that it's like the first part of where we're heading, you know? It's all culminating.
I expected more out of Balin and Shin, but Thrawn's ending of the season is what I expected 1000%. You know what I mean? How could you not? You know? It's like, what did you expect? Ahsoka to cut him down? No. But no, I mean, the way they ended it with Balin and Shin, obviously it was weak, but it wasn't weak. It was weak in the sense of to do, you know, like to see on the television per se, right? But the picture is way stronger than the scene, the whole, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just simple Balin standing on top of a finger being pointed somewhere, and whose finger it is. That's all that you need to know.
Yep. I'm trying to look up. Oh, I have to sneeze here.
God bless you.
There we go. I found it. So there's a fan art. I'll show it on camera right now, but there's a fan art of Balin Skull as a Jedi with his clones. I think that'd be a cool place to go, you know? But this is the question I was going to pose to you, MJ. Should we stay in the Skywalker saga with animation? Or should we go outside of it? I know you were posing the Old Republic. What if they did that with the Clone Wars animation?
So, I mean, if I was Disney right now, and what I would do is, what they're doing right now is they're touching up the Skywalker saga.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? George Lucas left the blueprint, finalized the blueprint in like about 95%. You know, he did the original and he did the prequels.
Yeah.
And then he sold it off. Well, then he did Clone Wars and some other animation. But yeah, he 95 out of 100 Star Wars. And Disney's coming in and basically dusting it off. And then they're going to move on to what Disney wants for Star Wars, which is the High Republic, the Dawn of the Jedi, and the sequels, you know, everything Legends that's all George's stuff. They're gonna acknowledge it, and it's up to them to bring it to canon. I mean, you know, for the longest time, the one character I really want is Starkiller to come to canon. I want to see Starkiller fight Ahsoka because it's both versions of an apprentice of both versions of their master.
Yep.
It's just so nerdy.
It is pretty freaking nerdy, you know. That's as fan servicey as it gets, but also just as a story, it adds up.
The choreography could be insane and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would do what I would do in Disney shoes: is go back to the beginning and go to the after. You know, you finish off the Skywalker saga that they're doing. They're dusting it. And it's just if it's good or not. I mean, they've already dabbled with after the Skywalker. Well, no, the Skywalker saga is still the sequels. So, I mean, the sequels is still going to be technically the Skywalker saga, you know, because it's Rey Skywalker now. So,
yes.
That's
why I want to see this Rey movie so bad, because I want to see what the galaxy's looking like.
Well, I had a thought like 20 minutes ago earlier. I don't know how the thought arose.
What up, No Mercy? How you doing, brother? Hopefully you're doing well. If you have any questions for Star Wars, let us know.
I think to make people happy of the sequels, you kill off Rey. In the sequels.
Kill off Rey.
Yep. And
I think, doesn't that just make her the martyr then? You kill off Rey, like, did the sequels still suck? You know what I mean? Like, I know what you mean.
I don't think you could band-aid the fucking sequels as much as what they're trying to do now. In the sense of Project Necromancer. I really firmly don't think you can. There is no duct tape or glue that can fix what the sequels have done.
Not duct tape or glue, but how about a nice foundation? Let me put something on you here, and you stop me at any point. Tell me if it's ass.
All right.
What if, you know, in this new Rey movie, she starts to get kind of like Force strokes, because the Force was just so, it came onto her so powerfully all at once that it kind of
of the Force, in a sense.
What was that?
Like seizures of the Force.
Yeah, like
momentarily, yeah, like temporary seizures.
Yeah,
like just overwhelming of the Force is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and
that's interesting.
It starts to drive her insane because it just keeps happening to her, and
she is a Palpatine under that skin.
Exactly, she's a Palpatine, and not only that, like, well, she really isn't a Palpatine. She really isn't. She shares DNA with the guy, but just as much DNA as you and I share. Like, she's still a very different person. But it's... Rey needs to have a reason why she got so powerful so quickly, and it needs to be explained in the universe. And I think there needs to be some downsides, some side effects to that. One of which are these force seizures that she gets, and it causes her to go insane. Just how Starkiller, every time he kept dying and getting cloned, like, he went more insane every time, right? That's kind of how I want to see things go for Rey, because like you said, she was a Mary Sue, and that's a completely genuine statement. And like No Mercy said, who the F wanted Rey? I think Rey was a good, solid character with a solid background, and they just fumbled her. They fumbled her.
The romance between Rey and Ben was very forced.
100%. I didn't like it in the slightest. I didn't like it in the slightest. The issue is, though, like, it all occurred kind of off screen.
Yeah, I mean,
The only thing that we ever see is that one forced FaceTime where
dude, seriously, there was literally no build up for a romance, or it was like, oh, we're linked.
she had no reason to feel empathetic towards him either. Unless she genuinely just knew, like, hey, I know the will of the Force, and I know this ain't you. And to be fair, she was right about him the whole time. But is that a good way of explaining their romance? No. But I think Ben knew at a certain point, like, this is the only person that can tangibly bring me back. This is the only person that can see me for who I am. So I get that part of it. Everything else, though, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. And you feel for Finn, who got friend-zoned the whole time. But at a certain point, if you're just a friend, you gotta know your role and shut your mouth. And it's kind of what Finn did. And then he went on to find a new girl, you know? Lando's daughter, of all people. So shout out to him. But I think Rey, she needs to have some sort of peril, is what I'm trying to get to. She needs to not be so damn powerful, but not directly, because that would be... You can't nerf her. She can't be nerfed at this point, because she is the Jedi Grandmaster. She is the most powerful Force being in the galaxy. So you can't directly throw out like a Plagueis clone or something, someone more powerful than her. She needs to be the reason why her power is deteriorating. And it's just like with steroids, like I was saying earlier, she was kind of on steroids. You get big and muscular at first, but then the longer your body goes on, like, you start to get the side effects. Your body starts breaking down. Your mind starts breaking down. And I really want to see that with Rey, because I feel like more than anything, she needs to be, like, her character, her Mary Sue character, as you described it, needs to be humanized, because with Kylo, he was as human as it gets. You know, we could see the downtrodden nature that he was living in, and just relate to everything that he was going through. With Rey, it was really tough to find something to relate to her by, because just everything she did came so naturally and so quickly and so rapidly, and all of it really occurred off screen. You know what I mean? So I get it. It's just it's a tricky slope, but they backed themselves into this corner. So are they going to back themselves, or are they going to go a different direction?
They could. They 100% could.
What kind of animated project would you like next? Because I will go to the grave saying that I would just love a civil war between episodes 4 and 5, do a couple seasons, and then between episodes 5 and 6, do a couple seasons.
Either live action or animated. Give me a Kyle Katarn show.
This would be animated. This animated.
Yeah, give me a Kyle Katarn show.
That'd be pretty. Would that be after episode 6?
I think it is.
Kyle
Yeah.
Katarn could show up in all this. He
I
could.
hope so.
Luke could literally be training him. He could be at Luke's temple, just as like, because he's just a Jedi Knight, right? Like, yeah. Why can't Kyle Katarn be involved? I never consciously played his games either, so I don't know much of his story. But I'd love to look into him, man. Do you know about Kyle Katarn? Other than like Squiggo?
I didn't play the original Dark Forces and Dark Forces 2, but the games after that, I played the Jedi Knight Academy and Jedi Knight Outcast. Those games are hands down my favorite Star Wars games to date. The lightsaber combat in that is unmatched, even today's date. Like Battlefront 2, it's still, even Battlefront 1, you kind of felt more like it was lightsaber combat, but Battlefront 2, it's not even close. It just feels like you're hitting a target nonstop, whereas the Outcast and Academy, you were clashing your lightsaber very often. Like a lightsaber slash in that game was dismemberment. 100%.
Gotcha. Which game was that?
Academy and Outcast.
Academy and Outcast. And that's Star Wars, the Jedi Knight, right? I'll have to jump into it, man.
Yeah, his story.
There's like 3 of them, right?
It's Dark Forces all the way up to Academy or Outcast.
Oh, okay.
Dark Forces 2 just got remastered, or Dark Forces 1. So
Here we go.
hoping gets
The other 2 do?
Yeah, like I would love a remaster of this.
Here we go. Here's the series. Dark Forces, Dark Forces 2, Mysteries of the Sith,
Yeah, I didn't play those 3.
Jedi. Whoa. Jedi Knight. Jedi Knight Academy. Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Weird. So Mysteries of the Sith was 1. Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and then just Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Okay. Weird.
Yeah, weird titles for sure.
I'll definitely look into it though, man.
Look up Dasan. He's the Sith. He's Kyle's like nemesis. Yeah.
Dasan.
Big old lizard dude.
Oh, swell. I love aliens.
When and if you do play his game, dude, the voice actor, let me look the voice actor up for him. It was phenomenal.
I'll probably-
like, Optimus Prime type.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably just watch no commentary gameplay. because I just have too much on my plate, and I can watch it while doing my stuff. But I'd be down now that I know like where it all takes place, what to start with, for sure. Anything else? Is that a good place to wrap her up? I think that's a good place to wrap her up. So that was episode 28 of the Archives podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back on Wednesday. Or no, we'll be back Friday? Wednesday or Friday? Depends on how good Bad Batch is. Probably Friday. But catch you later. And have a good one.